Well, Coach, as it approaches 1 year since we lost Zach, how often do you think of him?
Just about every day. You know, we have reminders. I have them in my office. Without question, it's the worst things ever happened to me in my coaching career. And it was hard on all of us. I was proud how our guys handled the adversity, but it was a tough moment, and his family will always be part of our family.
Reviewing the film from the padded practices that you guys had at the end of the week last week, what jumped out at you when you took a look at that?
I think we're more athletic in a lot of areas. You know, the guys have an eagerness to learn. You know, we made a lot of mistakes, and you know, it's almost goes back and forth, offense, defense, and who's winning the plays. But that's probably a good thing from a head coaching standpoint. And all the mistakes I've seen are correctable. So I've been pleased. It's been 7 practices, whatever, and we've made a lot of progress.
What do you think about the way that Coach Knorr is going about analyzing and breaking down the special teams?
Yeah, he's a very hard worker, and his biggest probably, I don't want to say obstacle, but they can deal with is me, because I'll come in and I love to be involved in special teams, and he'll work his tail off, and I'll come in and what about this idea? And so, you know, we'll change up a few things, but he's got great energy. I think the guys have really bought into it, and we haven't put all special teams in yet, but he's a great addition to the staff.
In the past, you've mentioned the scary pass rusher guy. Anybody on this roster who can be that guy?
Yeah, and I hate to identify names just yet. I think we have a couple guys coming back that can do that, but there's no question out of the freshman DN/linebacker class, we got better pass rushers than we've had in a couple years.
I know J.J. Taylor is limited, obviously, but what do you hope?
No, he's not.
He's not?
No, he's doing everything. Yeah.
How does he look then?
Yeah, he looks great. He's a little bigger than he was last year, and he's in great shape. And him and Nick, there's everybody's healthy so far. Knock on wood. It's been good.
His potential. What's it?
Well, you saw glimpses of it last year, and he's an explosive player. He's a tough guy, and it's important to him. So you saw it, and I think he was well on his way to having a 1,000-yard season. And so it was unfortunate he got hurt, but he's healthy right now. So it's good.
So those expectations will kind of carry over to now.
Yeah, I think sometimes you burst on the scene as a freshman like Nick did. I mean, the expectations go through the roof, but that's okay. He can handle it. And JJ, I expect him to have. Hopefully, we'll get that year back, and I think he'll have a great 4 years.
Is it impractical for somebody that size to carry it 40 times a game? Or does that not have anything to do with it?
No, he's short, but he ain't small. Yeah, I think there's a difference. Sometimes if a guy's he's vertically challenged a little bit, say, well, you can't take a pounding. And, you know, it really depends on what kind of hits. And JJ is so elusive. He doesn't take a lot of big hits head on. I don't know how many carries he'll have. We hope that there's enough backs that he won't have to carry it 45 times. But it was like that game Kadeem ran, right? He had, 45 carries? If we had the ball 5 more times, he'd have 50. He wasn't complaining. So I think they don't mind carrying a lot.
So is the injury then a fluke thing when somebody fell on his ankle, would you say?
Well, no, they had a couple 300 pounds. If you remember, they were driving him back, and I thought it was a little bit, kind of extra after the whistle. I don't know. I just said, but, and then there's 600 pounds laying on the guy, and it was an unfortunate thing.
You guys have the home opener, Rob Gronkowski bobbleheads. How much say do you have in something like that from a marketing standpoint?
Not really much. I've heard about that's nice. I mean, I hope if Gronk, I don't know if he has open date that day, but I hope if he has open date, we get a chance to see him again. But he's a great player here, and that'll be a nice collector's item for the fans that come.
Do you have one, or will you be able to?
I don't know if I probably won't. I'm going to try to have to, maybe somebody can swipe one for me. I have, some of the Gronk ice cold beverage mugs. Those are probably used quite a bit, but I have one of those. In fact, we have, I think all the guys on the team have one of those Gronk ice cold mugs. Those are nice.
Why was it important to bring in some additional competition at punter and kicker?
Well, just because we got to get better at it. I think the guys we got coming back have gotten better themselves, but the competition is going to elevate everybody at all positions, and including that, I like the couple of young freshmen we have at punter and kicker are providing immediate competition. I've been pleased with the way they've kicked. Now, we've got to put them under more pressure situations in practice, but we have some talent there.
After having Josh do 2 of the 3 things for much of the season last year, would you prefer to have 3 guys do the
Or at
have
least
the 3
2
roles?
I'd rather have at least 2. A punter and kicker be separate. You know, I've had guys in the past. I had Pat McAfee, who's still in the NFL, just a tremendous talent, was able to do both. But most of the time, you want somebody at least do kicking and punting. And we may have, I don't know, we may have 3. You know, a kicker and a punter and a kickoff guy. We'll wait and see.
Troy Young and Scotty Young, they exceeded expectations.
Yes and no. We thought when we signed them and they came here that they would have a chance to compete, but they've been even better early in camp than we could even expect. So they've been impressive, and Coach Adai's done a good job with them, and they're learning in a hurry. But they're 2 really talented guys, and they look like what you want your safeties to look like.
What has Lee Anderson shown in camp?
Lee's one of those guys that he was here last year, but he's a year older, year stronger. He's given us a kind of an explosive edge on the pass rush, and been really impressed with Lee. He's going to help this football team in a lot of areas, not just rushing the passer, but also on special teams.
Have you seen any separation at quarterback as of yet?
It's been positive from as far as getting better, and you know I don't. Again, I'm a little different. I don't necessarily got to declare one guy there or anywhere else. I just want to have a couple guys at each position good enough to win with. If I got 3 quarterbacks good enough to win with, I'll play all 3. And I've done it in the past, and I'll do it again. And that's my goal at the end of camp here in almost 2 weeks, that I can have at least 3 I feel I can win with.
So you completely disagree with the whole you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none?
Yeah, you know, somebody probably said that 50 years ago, and it kind of sounded smart, and so everybody else follows it. That sounds a smart statement. I mean, why? I mean, if you have 2, you have none. Hell, that makes no sense. It's like giving you 2 pizzas or no pizzas. Give me 2 pizzas. I mean, please. But some smart guy. That's fake news.
One more question.
How has Coach McGee changed things for the tight ends?
Well, Coach McGee was, he won't brag on himself, but I will. He was a great tight end coming out. You know, he played at Southern, and you know, he played in the NFL. He's got some experience. I have yet to see a lot of highlights of Coach McGee, but I know there's some out there. And I think he caught a touchdown or 2, but he has a great, not only does he know our offense well, but he has a great feel on technique of the tight ends. And you can ask him, but I think he's been invaluable, and he's too good of a coach, really, to coach one position, running backs. And so I think this move, having him running backs and tight ends, is really helped our offense.